Yeah, I am on my way down another road I have paved. With every good intention I've saved and hearts that I broke. As for me, I got scars for every mile I've traveled so far, and some blood on my hands. Yeah, I am. 1, 2, 3, 4. With a song in my heart and attitude from the start, I took everybody apart to see how they work. I got friends that I owe. I ain't naming names 'cause they know where they stand. Here I am. Here I am. Here I am. Here I am.
I've always loved road trips. I think it comes from the days when my mum and dad would pack us into the car for our annual trip to London. I remember that halfway there, Dad would stop the car to brew tea on a small stove at the side of the road. Looking back, I realise it was the journey that Dad loved. My love of the road took me to America in the 1970s to hitchhike with a friend from New York to California and back again, following in the footsteps of Jack Kerouac. And when I moved to Canada and got my own wheels, I began to travel from Alberta to the deserts of the Southwest. I had discovered a wonderful thing. At least to an Englishman, it was astonishing. If you pointed the car south, you could just drive forever. And when you did, it took you into the landscapes of my boyhood imagining. The Great Plains, deserts, canyons, a place that I thought no longer existed, but it did. The West was still there, empty, endless, magnificent.
But you went around with the Fort Worth blues.
For me, travel takes place in two worlds, the world of the mind and that of the road. I found that one way to make it through the long Alberta winter was to plan an imaginary journey. Inevitably, just after Christmas, I'd find myself reaching for a stack of maps and find a road to follow. I trace its course, imagining the glories and the difficulties it might present. Sometimes I'd even go to the basement to pull out my camping equipment, just to be ready, just in case this was the year I'd hit the road again. I'd replay the route and its landmarks in my head, waiting for spring. This part, the imagining, is for me as enjoyable as the doing. I've never been to the Grand Canyon, I said to myself this spring, as the maps called to me once more. It was time. It was time to have an adventure, to hit the road again.
I like the idea of going with him, but I find that I can't practically do it.
I've forgotten something. Food? No. I know.
In order for me to function in any kind of normal way for me, I need comforts that Tim doesn't need.
We've got some Kathmandu curry with rice. That sounds good. not. But anyway, I'll look forward to that. I don't know about the cheese enchilada. I mean, how do you do an enchilada when it's all in mush? Mashed potatoes and country gravy with turkey. That's just terrible, isn't it? First aid in case I have a heart attack or a brain aneurysm and I have to operate on myself. Water, ketchup. See, it's not in any particular order.
It is not a holiday that I would take with Tim.
Tent, that's useful. A chair. So, there's my tent. Threw the last one away, it went rotten. And my sleeping pad. And that should keep me going for a couple of days.
I don't think that Tim is crazy at all, as some people might think.
Then I have to get a sort of mix of music that I think is going to cover all the moods of the trip. It's some Sinatra. I never thought I'd play Sinatra on a road trip, but some Bruce, who you can't go into the desert, into America, into the West without some Bruce Springsteen.
I would wish that he doesn't get bitten by anything nasty or stung by anything horrible. I would wish for him a good place to sleep at night that's cool, and maybe buy some nice trees and some water perhaps.
And I'm taking Edward Abbey's book, Desert Solitaire.
And that he has had enough time so that when it's time to come home, he feels like coming home.
Somewhere beyond the great divide, where the sky's wide and the clouds are few, a man can see his way clear to the light. Just hold on tight, that's all you gotta do.
This is an attempt at a Tim cam in the car. Actually, it's easy because I'm not moving at the moment. I'm in a lineup. I got up at 4:30 so that I could get on the ferry in good time, and we appeared to be in a lineup of cars waiting at dawn. A ferry terminal doesn't seem to be open at the moment. I can't tell you how free I feel. It's like, not that I'm constrained by a lot of things. I suppose we are in our lives constrained by lots of things, houses and routines and schedules and fitting in with everybody. But to be on your own is a real privilege sometimes, and I love it. I love the opportunity sometimes to be entirely free.
Caught out running with just a little too much to hide. Maybe, baby, everything's gonna turn out fine. Please read the letter, I nailed it to your door. It's crazy how it all turned out. We needed so much more.
We're in southern BC in the interior, and it's a great spot. Big Boulder Park or something. Would be lovely on a hot summer's day. It's bloody freezing. I'm going to get back in the car.
Maybe, baby, you better check between the lines. Please read the letter, I wrote it in my sleep, with help and consultation. the angels of the deep. Please read the letter that I wrote. Please read the letter that I wrote. Once I put beside the well of many words. My house is full of rings and charms and pretty birds.
I'm in a campsite, state park, full of families of, it's kind of pleasant, but not my kind of thing. I'd like to be out in the wild somewhere without lots of people around, but tonight there's lots of activity in camp. So I'm going to go to bed in a minute. I'm going to sleep in the car tonight because I can't be bothered to put up a tent, and I need to leave very early in the morning. Tomorrow's going to be a tough day, I think. It's I think I have to cover about 1,000, more than 1,000 kilometers to get into Nevada, so I'm feeling the need for sleep and to get up early. So, end of diary, day 1. Good night. 6 o'clock and getting an early start, not a bad sleep. The back of the car, not bad. Bit of a crick in my neck this morning, but yeah, so I'm just going to pack up and go and get breakfast on the road. So day 2 begins. Sometimes you forget to stop, you know, as you barrel on down the road, and I just thought I'd stop for a moment in this beautiful sunlight, in these beautiful pine forests. The air is spectacular. It's so fresh and piney. I can see a turkey. See if I can see the silhouette of it in this wood.
There she stood in the street, smiling from her head to her feet. I said, hey, what is this? Now baby, maybe she's in need of a kiss. I said, hey, what's your name, baby? Maybe we can see things the same.
Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation for...
She's written a book called Rediscovering Catholicism, and she's been passing that book to her friends, and they have...
We can't guarantee it. We won't sell it.
You say, no, I don't think that's right. And indeed, I think by and large the church at this point in history doesn't think it's right.
Jazz 101.9 weather forecast. Sunshine for most of our Labor Day today.
I got up at dawn thinking I'll get on the road, covered 2 hours of driving, and then stop for a really nice breakfast. I've now been driving for 5 hours. 5 hours. I've done 400 and something kilometers, 400 kilometers, and I've yet to find anywhere for breakfast. I just don't want to eat at McDonald's or Burger King. I want to stop at some roadhouse and have a proper breakfast with hash browns and eggs and real eggs and, you know, real hash browns, the real thing. But I can't find one. Now I've crossed the Columbia River into Oregon, and I'm heading southeast to Pendleton. Well, Pendleton's I've got to eat sometime, otherwise I'm going to faint.
stopped for gas at this truck stop. Well, it's just a horrible place. Anyway, they had no bathroom. The only men's bathroom was closed because it was bust. And so I went to the counter and how to say this charitably, there was a woman there who looked like something she might have been raised by animals. She had incredibly thick eyebrows, and anyway, she was very rude, and she said, no, there's no bathroom. There is the outhouse, but that's closed.
Let me tell you now. I took her home to my place, watching every move on her face.
All right, enough of that. I've got miles to cover. I got to get home. Well, home for the night. I've got to make it to Wild Horse State Park in Nevada, which is still another, I don't know, over half an hour away. It's going to be dark when I get there, I think, if I can even find it.
She said, look, what's your game, baby? Are you trying to put me in shame? I said,
well, I hear the trailer coming, rolling around the bend. I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when, 'cause I'm stuck in Folsom Prison. Time keeps dragging on.
It's the end of the second day, and I've driven into the night into Nevada, and it got dark. I was driving down these twisty roads looking for a state park, Wild Horse State Park. I think I found it. I turned off, and there seems to be a camping site. There's hardly anybody here, and it's in the middle of a kind of scrubby sagebrush place. It's freezing. This is definitely a place that Colleen would hate. It's 9:15 and I just got here and I'm just unpacked my stuff, middle of the night, and I'm freezing. So I'm just gonna have some bread and cheese or something and go to bed. It's good to, get to where you're supposed to be, I think, and tomorrow will be fine. Tomorrow I'm gonna find a hotel, I think, and have a shower and clean up. And I think that's enough for tonight. Wore all my clothes, and I was still frozen. I kept waking up in the night. Anyway, so I got up at 5:30 as I couldn't stand it any longer, and everything was frozen outside. And believe it or not, I had a shower. I went for a shower, and there's a shower room, and I had a freezing cold shower, but somehow that seemed to
make me feel better once I put some clothes on. Anyway, the sun's coming up now, which is a relief, and I'm sure it'll be blazing hot soon. But that is the coldest night I've spent in my life. So I need just to get into the car and get going. It's going to be a lovely day, I'm sure.
My brother Jim and my other brother Jack went off down to Houston and never come back. Mama wasn't gonna let her baby go yet, but there ain't nobody hiring back in Lafayette.
Road bulletin. I'm stopped in the middle of the desert at some roadworks, and the sign said 30-minute delay possible.
En el tronco de un árbol una niña grabó su nombre henchida de placer, y el árbol conmovido allá en su seno a la niña una flor dejó caer. Yo soy el árbol conmovido y triste, tú eres la niña que mi tronco hirió. Yo guardo siempre tu querido nombre y tú te has hecho de mi pobre flor.
Grand Canyon. We've been climbing and climbing. It's really high, and then when I thought we were getting glimpses of these fissures in the ground, these incredible deep narrow canyons, and I thought this is leading to it, this must be it. I suddenly find that we're on this huge plateau, high plateau, covered with, I think these are pinyon pines. It's pretty exciting. I feel like I've I've come a long way. It's been a long journey, and I feel very happy to have got this far. And it's a beautiful day. There are these great fluffy clouds in the sky, and beautiful high plateau is clear as a bell up here, and makes you feel good to be alive. I think I'd never known until I made this journey and was trying to document it as I went along with the camera. So I've been paying more attention, I think, to the landscape and to the distances, and I never knew how large the West is. It's absolutely immense. I don't know where the Grand Canyon is. Somebody's put it somewhere, because I can see for miles now this plateau of pines. It's quite dense, this forest. I don't know. I guess I'll just run into it. Words can't capture the Grand Canyon. And it's true, as I looked down, I was without words. I can't do it. It's too big, too glorious, too lovely, too spectacular. None of those words work. Such is my devotion to filmmaking. I took the camera to bed last night. So you're capturing the first moments of day 4 or 5, whatever it is. Isn't that lovely? In the Tim Willis School of Desert Survival, I think this is one of my proudest accomplishments. The one burner bagel toaster. It needs to be handled with a lot of skill, because you can easily end up with a burnt bagel. Desert survival tip number 2 is always go into the desert, always, with a pot of peanut butter. If it's a choice between water and peanut butter, always go for peanut butter. I'm desperately in need of a shower, and this campground hasn't got any showers, and the sink, I can't get my head into the sink. But being the resourceful outdoorsman that I am, I know that in every arid region there is always a shower tree. Desert survival tip number 3. What I didn't record was that I took my glasses off and put them in a crook of the branch of the tree and had my shower, and then couldn't find my glasses. This is a small survival error that could have meant the end for me. So I was trying not to be panicked. Because I actually can't see without my glasses, so I couldn't see to look for them. So I had to search this pine tree for my glasses. Luckily I found them. There's that point in the Blair Witch movie where they've been wandering around in the woods, and they come back to the same place that they started in, and they realise with a huge amount of dread that no matter what they do, they're just coming back to where they started from. There's no way out. So I think I'm a little lost in the Grand Canyon Park. I'm looking for the Grand Canyon, actually. Somebody's put it somewhere. It's beautiful though, and it's not too hot, so I'll just keep going. Still haven't found it. be a terrible thing to come back home having missed it. I thought I was quite good at reading maps, but apparently I've missed the Grand Canyon. I figure if I keep going in a certain direction, I'll run into the Grand Canyon. I'll probably drop off the edge. Oh, I hear a train. Oh look, there's definitely a trail. There's definitely what looks like, yes, I'd say this would be a Grand Canyon. I had been looking out of the canyon for a few minutes, just trying to take it all in, and I turned to my left, and that's when I saw this tiny engraved line dropping down over the side of the canyon and zigzagging madly into the depths of the canyon, sometimes disappearing from view and then reappearing again, and then disappearing and re-emerging hundreds of feet later. And I realized this was the Bright Angel Trail. This is the hiking trail I was going to take the very next day. And it was then that I really could appreciate, not as much as I did the next day, but at that point I could really get a sense of the depth of the canyon. And just when I thought I'd lost the trail, I turned to my right and I could see it disappearing out over the plateau. Where it comes to the edge of the plateau, it then drops into the inner canyon and down to the Colorado River. Unbelievable. Tell you what's a really weird phenomenon is I was just standing on the edge, the lip of this rock here, looking down into the canyon, and which is odd in itself because I'm actually afraid of heights. But what's even weirder is I had this overwhelming sensation that I'd like to throw myself off the edge. Not really. I just was imagining what it would be like to throw yourself off the edge, because it is intriguing, isn't it? And then I found I had to really step back with a sort of queasy feeling inside that I had been, I'm sure this is not real, but that I had been just seconds away from flinging myself off the edge of this precipice.
Well, not safe to eat anywhere.
Look at the little squirrels. People feed them, and so they count on them. Water. They count on them.
Good.
I'm just hiking away from my campsite through the pinyon pine forest just to have a little Grand Canyon experience of my own. I kind of knew that if I headed in a particular direction I'd come to the rim eventually. You know, yesterday I went to one of the overlooks to watch the sunset, and there were a whole bunch of people there watching the sun go down. which was beautiful. But I think I was facing the wrong way. When you watch the sun go down, you just see the sun against the horizon. But when you look the other way, you see this. It's big. You know, you can't avoid coming to the edge of it. And I did just before sunset, and I was all alone, and I felt a wave of gratitude that I have my life, and that I am privileged to be able to do this. It made me very much aware of my small place in the world and how lucky I am in my little place in the world. And just to see it, it makes no difference to the world as a whole that I've seen it, but I guess just inside it makes me enormously grateful for what I have and for that moment. Well, there's the trail. It's 7:30 in the morning and I'm walking to the trailhead and feel pretty good. We'll see. My heel and toe are the things that I'm worried about on my right foot. Seem to be damaged from driving. There are warnings at the top about says can you run the Boston Marathon? And it assumes, of course, that you can't. It says, well, this woman, age 24, who ran the Boston Marathon, died on this trail because she didn't drink enough water. Well, I, as an ex-marathon runner, have lots of water. I do not intend to die on this trail. There's a tendency to want to stop and take pictures every step of the way because it is so beautiful and sublime. It's really sublime. I don't have any words. It's beautiful and the trail is spectacular. Look at this. One little misstep and whoop, over you go.
You know, this is worth the price of admission. It's beautiful. The air is still and fragrant, and the sun is just beginning to warm the rock, and it's just beautiful temperature. This is probably the best it'll be. So I'm really enjoying it. Toe holding up, a little painful, but I suspect going downhill is going to be the worst part for the toe. So we'll just hang in there. After a little while, it gets kind of mesmerizing doing these switchbacks, and each step down. At first I was just finding the steps painful on my knees. I'm sorry to keep complaining, but I was just worried about how they're going to hold out. And you know, I've kind of given up worrying now. They're doing okay at the moment. So I just go, and then I found after a while it just becomes so mesmerizing, the rhythm of your footsteps. Oh, look at that rock face. Okay, keep walking. Stop looking at the sights. I've got a mission to do here. Anyway, the steps and the switchbacks start to become comforting, and sort of you're lost in the rhythm of it and stop thinking about all the extraneous stuff. Somebody who fell off the cliff far outside. All the extraneous stuff. So, just so pleasant, so quiet. One or two people on the trail, overtaking them all so far. Well, they were stopping to take photographs, so I overtook them. I'm way too confident, aren't I? This is going to come back to haunt me in about 2 hours. It's starting to warm up. Bloody hell, I can tell it's going to be really hot. So far, so good. Haven't collapsed yet. I'm probably a sixth of the way down. Not even that, maybe. Sizzling. I'm pretty sore, my feet are pretty sore. I've complained all the way down. No, it's just that I'm not sure I'm going to make it, to be honest. I'm not sure I'm going to make it all the way down, but I'll keep going. It's a huge, I mean, it feels like we've come a long way. And then you look down the valley and, well, we've probably come a third of the way, maybe if that. And they say right at the end, off the plateau, there's a really steep part. This has been steep, I thought, but it gets steeper right at the end, and then you have to go all the way back up. And I've been noticing people climbing back up the trail look considerably tired and sweaty, and then most of them are young. So we'll carry on. One other odd symptom is that I have now, doctor, now that we're talking about my medical problems, is my hands are all swollen up. Oh. That's what I need, a pack horse. A pack horse and a mule to ride on, and a pack horse to carry my water bottle. Oh well. I must say the expression on the faces of people coming back up is quite different from those going down. Those going down seem to be chatty and perky and pink in a good way. Those coming up look a bit white, and they tend just to focus on the eyes on the trail and not to look at you. And they definitely are breathing hard. Oh, here's my mules. I just passed a guy running uphill. Not even young, an older guy, my age. Madness. Human beings are strange creatures in their desire to push to some sort of limit for God knows what reason. I've done it in my life and I still do it, I suppose, doing stupid things like this trail. Although the rewards are considerable, for me anyway, it's not the doing of it, it's more the experience of the land. But surely when you're running uphill, you're not experiencing anything other than fucking pain. Craziness. Lovely cactuses, look at these. I know, desert survival tip number 4, that do not trip over or back into one of these babies. I have done that. I did it on in Joshua Tree National Park Monument, or whatever it's called. I was taking a picture of a Joshua tree and I backed up to get the angle right, and I backed right into what's known as a choya cactus. I found out later in the botanical books as I was removing the spines from my leg. Oh, it's getting hot now. Boiling. Okay, the warnings are dire everywhere, posted every few miles about how dangerous it is to... But the endless instructions on what to eat, what to drink. You see people strapped with belts of electrolytes and different kinds of Gatorade and various prepared snacks, and I think, oh God, it's all just a bit much. What happened to ordinary, simple living and dying? Maybe I'm becoming delirious. I'm not sure if I'm making any sense at all. This should be quite interesting maybe for the video if I become increasingly insane as I go along on the hike. Following the course of a little stream. Man, it's getting hotter. Back at Indian Gardens it was 80 in the shade, and in the stretches where you get into the sun it's really warm. Very lovely. I think if I get into trouble I'll just make a little camp down by the stream for the night. Trap some game. You know, partridges and rabbits and the like, and roast them on a spit. Whittle some weapons in case of attack by mountain lions. And oh crap! And start off again the next day. Huh. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Well, that was a surprise. I thought it was gliding comfortably down to the river, but apparently not. We're now on this precipitous path. Holy shit. It's getting hotter and hotter. This is, I heard the mule guy, the mule captain back there talk about this area as the inner canyon. This is not possible to see this area from the rim. And it feels like a different world. The heat just went up about 20 degrees. It's got to be 100 at least. I don't know, over 100 in the sun, I'm sure. I suppose I could just cover myself with mud and I'd be okay. My feet are aching. Oh yeah, we've heard enough about your feet for one day. Thank you very much. I'm sure we'll hear about them on the way back up. That rushing sound wasn't the river. It was a stream, a waterfall coming down a ravine. But still no sign of the river. I'm following that guy. He must know what he's doing to be down here. Maybe just around this bend. Tell you how lovely this is. Oh, this is just heaven. You know, just stay here. On my feet in this little basin of water. Oh. Well, at the moment, having just dipped my feet in this beautiful stream, it feels absolutely wonderful. I feel re-energized and re-energized. I was going to say ready for the journey back. I wasn't feeling so great in the last bit. Very hot, tired, and kind of worried about getting back up. But you know what? I did it in 4 hours. I think I can get back up in 6. So I'm going to leave pretty soon. I'll take it slower and hope for the best. Yay! I have a little water left. I should be okay. I have some nuts and raisins and some Werthers. So I've got everything, all the food groups. There are going to be very few reports from me on the way back. It's awful. That's all I can say, it's awful. It's 1,000,000 degrees and it's a very long way back. Over and out. Okay, I'm reposing in after a life-saving pit stop at a place called Indian Gardens, where there's shade and a water supply. So I haven't even started the climb up there. Don't think about it. What a foolish boy I am. Don't do it, girls and boys. It's not worth it. This is a message from Tim Willis, who expired on the trail this day of our Lord, September the 10th, 2010.
Hey, how's it going?
Terrible.
Oh, you only have 3 more hours.
Oh, great. 3 more hours. Actually having a little bit of a second wind at the moment. I kind of went into a daze, which is good. And just went through the rhythm of climbing each of these steps. And this is one of the steepest parts, and it feels like I'm getting there. I'm just kidding myself. There's hours to go yet. I'm going
Grand Canyon about 2 hours ago, and it's such a pleasure just to sit today. The hike down to the Colorado River yesterday almost did me in, and last night was painful, sleeping in the tent. It just, I ached and didn't have a great sleep. I'm finding the lack of sleep a bit of a trial on this trip. I'm heading west along this highway. I'll turn off near Las Vegas to some side roads and make for Death Valley. I'm gonna kind of, hopefully I'll arrive there early in the afternoon or mid-afternoon. I can decide whether I want to stay. I have no idea how hot it is there and whether I can spend the night there. We'll see.
Oh, Yosemite is like heaven to me. I had been here 35 years ago, almost in the same campsite. I'd hitchhiked across America with a friend, and we'd arrived in Yosemite after days on the road, strung out and tired from hitchhiking day after day, and hungry and ill from colds. And Yosemite was like a balm to the soul. It was beautiful and cool and tranquil and restful. And I felt this way again coming back. It was like heaven after Death Valley. I also remember that the first time I'd ever seen a bear was in Yosemite in the 1970s. And it was clear to me that bears were still an important feature of Yosemite Park, and I was struck almost immediately by this fact when I was asked by the ranger to sign a formal agreement to store my food in a particular way, and that if I didn't store it in this way, I was liable to some enormous fine. So I signed, and I started to pack my food, and I treated it all with a sort of smile that was soon to disappear. Thinking of the bear, of course. Not that, it hasn't been in my mind all day. But if things get really bad, I have my axe. And I'm going to position the camera.
It's a mystery to me. We have agreed with which we have agreed. And you think you have to want more than you need. Until you have it all, you won't be free. Society, you're a crazy breed. I hope you're not lonely without me. When you want more than you have, you think you need. And when you think more than you want, your thoughts begin to bleed. I think I need to find a bigger place. 'Cause when you have more than you think, you need more space. Society, you're a crazy breed. I hope you're not lonely without me. Society, crazy indeed. I hope you're not lonely without me.
There's those thinking more or less is more. But if less is more, how you keeping score? It means for every point you make, your level drops. Kinda like you're starting from the top. You can't do that. Society, you're a crazy breed. I hope you're not lonely without me. Society, crazy indeed. I hope you're not lonely without me. Society, have mercy on me. I hope you're not angry if I disagree. Society, crazy indeed. I hope you're not lonely